Let me just make sure that I've got your names right. So Elizabeth and Woody, correct?
Yeah.
No, my name's Izzy, not Elizabeth.
Izzy.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's
I thought.
listen to anything Woody says for the next hour.
Welcome to Work in Progress. I'm your host, Archum, and today we have Woody and Izzy as our guests. So thank you for taking your time.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for inviting us on.
Our pleasure. Just right from the bat, I hear that Izzy is expecting, so congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't really told anyone, to be honest.
Oh, really?
It's kind of
Really?
Yeah.
So this is going to be a news to a lot of people on your social media then.
You got a world exclusive.
Yeah. So if I haven't responded, that's why.
Right. Okay.
We're due in about 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So
wonderful.
Yeah, very exciting.
Amazing. Is it more exciting or a little scary at the same time?
Both,
a little bit of both.
Yeah. Trying to juggle things and not knowing is a bit nuts, but yeah, you always get through it in the end, don't you?
Yeah, we'll be fine. We have to say it all the time. Don't have a choice.
Yeah, it's got to be fine.
Wonderful. Okay, so tell us about yourselves and your business. So obviously you do something amazing, and a lot of people would love to hear that.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, so we make polished concrete worktops, sinks, anything really. The fact is, with concrete, you can kind of make anything. If you can make a mold, you can make concrete. So yeah, basically my background was rugby player. I was a rugby player for a long time, going from job to job, from rugby club to rugby club, and yeah, just fell into concrete. I saw one of my mates had a concrete hearth, and I just loved it. And then went back and was Googling concrete because I didn't know anything about it. And I saw all these concrete worktops, and Izzy caught me at 2 or 3 in the morning looking at concrete worktops, and yeah, it wasn't too happy about it. And yeah, so basically started up the company, and yeah, didn't really look back, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we kind of I'd say you didn't really fall into it. You were always kind of interested in it.
I was always good with my hands, always building, always doing stonemasonry, things like that. I was always a builder. My dad was a builder.
Always creative, always that was always what you were doing. And then I worked in media. I worked for a huge media company in the UK, and I kind of just wasn't. I don't know. I just wasn't really committed, was I?
No.
My boss ever hears this, he'll agree. And then
ex-boss.
Don't have a boss now. Then yeah, we kind of just as Woody said, we went to this party at our friend Ed's house, and they had this amazing concrete hearth.
Yeah, it's floating concrete.
It was lovely. Really beautiful.
Old school.
And Woody was like, that would be so cool if we could make that, make it amazing, make it better, know about the product. And it started from there, and we rented this. It was a fridge container. It was a fridge in Brixton behind the market, and it was really quite scary. And it had like a big fridge door, and it was, how big was it?
It was about 7 or 8 meters by 4. I think it was really small.
So tiny.
Yeah.
And we started in there, and then kind of started doing a few little jobs, and then it just went mad, didn't it?
We got a gym job, which was quite big.
We took on just a few big contracts, and then that's when it just
kicked off.
Yeah, went crazy, and then expanded, and then now we've moved to Henley because we just needed more space, as everyone does.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's an amazing story. I like the whole background of it, so that's pretty cool. So the place that you're staying at now, or like the place where you work, is that much bigger than the Brixton one now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like 25 by 6, so it's quite a big workshop. Wow. And a nice office for Izzy.
And now, I hate to say this, but we're already outgrowing this one. So we're looking to take on we had this built for us. Friends of ours have the land. Luckily, we very lucky to have that.
Yeah.
So we kind of said, can you build us another one next door? So they're in the process of doing that, which is pretty cool.
It's in their heads, so it's good.
So yeah, next year, watch this space. That'll be doubling in size.
Yeah.
Wow, you're like a perfect combination, a craftsman and a marketeer. As in, you know, you literally one creates, the other one markets and sells. That's like, it couldn't be better.
Well, Izzy does actually a lot of the creating as well. She tells me how to do it. Basically,
Right.
I tell you when it's wrong and it's not good enough. I think that's probably, as you say, like
quality control.
Yeah, definitely quality control. Nothing goes out if I haven't literally put the seal of approval on it. You might have sealed it, but it doesn't go anywhere till I say it's fine. And you know what? That's actually something we're really proud of. We never palm stuff off. We'd never be like, oh, yeah, no, that's fine, just get it out. We'd rather ruin our own schedule and take off our own weekends making everything again. And that's at our cost and our time, because we don't want anyone to get something that they don't absolutely love, or that's slightly wrong. We would just feel bad about it.
I wouldn't feel great.
You wouldn't feel great. No. I wouldn't feel great. So
helps you sleep at night as well, which is quite nice.
Yeah, when we finish.
I think it's definitely the right attitude to have toward your product and service, because obviously I think one of the reasons why you're growing so much and so quickly is because you provide an excellent service and a product that people are proud to have in their homes. So I think whatever quality control you do, I think it's right on the money.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, we are pretty strict with it.
Well done with that. So who's your main client base? Is it residential or more commercial?
It's mainly residential. I think we're in the transition at the moment of moving into commercial. One of my old rugby mates actually just contacted us, and he works for a really big company, construction company, and they do loads of stuff, but big stuff as well. It's
more like fit out.
Like 1,000 square meters, things like that of polished concrete floors. So we're kind of
amazing.
Through that. We're getting our health and safety sorted out. We're getting our contracts tied down, things like that. So it is a transition, and we are moving into that at the moment. But I don't know about that's more the flooring side. The worktop side and the sink side are more domestic still. So.
Yeah, and they kind of, I hate to say it, not to limit us, but they do suit that setting. They suit residential properties because they're just like nice for daily use and that kind of living environment, I suppose. I mean, the commercial fit outs we've done are amazing, but they're more like custom sinks and things like that, which is great. But yeah, as Woody said, I think we're definitely in that transition stage. And, at the moment, people are doing loads more than they have been. So it's quite exciting to be invited to even go to tender and be considered for them, because, it's just huge.
Yeah, it's great. It's a real nice feeling as well, because people, can see what we're doing and think, oh yeah, these guys can handle it,
Yeah, and we like to think that people want to work with us, not just for our product, but because of Woody and I, because it is, you will always speak with us. There's no one else. It's not customer service, we're not a call centre. So, which I think makes us a bit more unique. You always know you're going to get me at the end of the phone if I answer.
And not me.
Yeah, I think it's a big selling point that obviously it's a very personal service that you provide, and a lot of people love that. They love the fact that it's a family-run business, and it's not like a corporate massive company that has 20 different administrators answering phone calls and things, and then promising you things that they cannot deliver later. So I definitely get why people love that about your company.
It's kind of family. Mum comes
definitely
to site.
Family, yeah.
Mum comes to site sometimes.
Your mum's always interested. She's like, oh my god, it looks amazing.
Yeah. She's just kind of pictured me.
Yeah.
And then we can't wait to get this new baby boy in his get up to work with you.
We got him a Woody's t-shirt already.
We've already got him a Woody's t-shirt, so
perfect. Amazing plans.
Yes.
Amazing. What about social media? Like, how do you market yourself at all, or is it word of mouth? Repeat customers, or how do you gain business in general?
When we first started, it was obviously word of mouth, and I was pretty lucky that one of my mates found us and went with us. And then we started advertising on Facebook, and we didn't really kind of get on with it. I don't think it wasn't really taking. And then Izzy said, "Why don't you get Instagram?" And ever since then, it's just been, it's just been a roller coaster. So it's just been carrying on.
I'd say about 90% of our business is through Instagram.
Yeah.
And then,
Really?
Yeah, so about 90% of inbound inquiries are Instagram, and then we do a bit of outside advertising once in a while.
Local
advertising, and we do a couple of newspaper and magazines if we feel that's right.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's I have to give credit to Woody because of the rugby community that he's from. They are all, it's great that they've all kind of gone into construction as well.
Yeah.
So like, so many of your friends from rugby either they have their own businesses, or they work in construction, or they're project managers, or
they have a house,
or they have a house that they want to.
That's the main thing.
They have a couple of our friends have wedding venues so they've bought barns, and they, and because of your relationship with them, and you've grown up with them, they use you use them, and it is just this amazing community, and we're so supported. Like when we moved here as well, it's pulling on all those contacts, and the fact that they want to help you and want to support, we're kind of unique in that. So definitely what Woody's saying, word of mouth, recommendations.
We definitely wouldn't be here without
any of those people. No. Like our support network is immense. I think lots of people get maybe financial investment. We didn't get that, but we did get an influx of people saying, how can we help?
Yeah.
And whether that's, calling, big up Matt Brown, call him at any time of day to come and
flip a
worktop with us. He's never complains. He's just like, yeah, sure, I'll be there. And
I buy him a couple of strongbows.
And he's
well happy.
He's sound. So yeah, I think Instagram, massive
Instagram. We did do Google for a bit, and we Google
you use like Google AdWords and things like that, but I don't know, that I think that's for like bigger, you kind of get lost in the noise of that. I think Instagram again is quite personal, and
you can also get a bit too much as well. You've got so much stuff to think about when you're running a business. Izzy takes on so much of it, and you kind of can take too much on. So there's too much advertising and having bits here and bits there. We'd rather have it, in one place, which is working well for us. And then when we start getting a little bit out of reach with this, then we can carry on then, and go on to something else that will work for us.
We are quite specific as well about what we like to take on. We're not, I don't know, maybe again that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know, we're still learning, but I don't just take on every single job that comes in, because scheduling our own lives, what's going to look great, what's an exciting project, or I don't know, we are quite a bit not picky at all. We have to be selective, because it's the main thing is time. You can have all the money in the world, you can have endless sheets of materials stocked up in the workshop, but ultimately it's time. And the one thing we are is time poor, and that's probably one of the biggest struggles we'll face in the next couple of months with the baby. So I think that's
looks like it's going to become even more intense, unfortunately. I hate to say that to you, but
no, that's we're hearing that a lot. For a reality check, but
I think the main thing, you love what you do, and you're gonna have a baby, so it's like it's nothing to complain about whatsoever.
No, exactly. And we do feel super lucky. Like we work for ourselves, and as I said, but we don't have a boss really. We're the boss, and it's such a nice freeing feeling. Like as well, pregnant women in the workplace, they are amazing. Everyone needs to know that, because I don't know how they do it. And I'm really happy that pregnant women right now don't have to commute, because that would be dire. And I've done that for, 5-6 years every day, and I wouldn't do it. I definitely would have quit by now.
Going back to Instagram, have you done in the past any ads at all, or was it purely your content on your page that sort of made the work?
Ads. We add most of the time, because I think about it is we're just putting it in front of people. They don't have to like it. If they like the content, then they'll like it and they'll follow us. I think, that's how I look at it.
Yeah, it's not, we don't see it as clickbait. It's not. It's not clickbait. We're saying we'll boost a post that we think is nice. That's not from any great traction. It's just we think it looks cool, and then it's whether people respond to it, whether they engage with it. You can just scroll past it. I mean, my Instagram's full of ads. Whether I click on them or not, it's relevant to me, or I'll just not follow them. So we don't feel like, we actually don't. We probably do it once, twice a month maximum. And it's really, we find it really interesting, because the only setback with that is when you boost one particular thing, all the inquiries will be for that item. So if you boost a chalk worktop, you'll get 10 inquiries saying, I'd like that worktop in chalk. And you're like, okay, cool. But
which is good, really,
which is great,
because people like it.
It means that they want that, but it's always that exact product. And I think then when you start the conversation with them, it's like, well, you can have any color you want, and you can
have any finish,
any thickness. And they're like, oh, okay. So I'm not just like, yeah, cool, we'll give you a white worktop. Like, we like to be a bit more creative, work with people on their, it's customizable from the start, really. But yeah, we do paid ads, because it puts us in front of people, and we get a great response from it.
We do, yeah, we really do. I do like Instagram, because it is, it's one of those things where it does, a lot of people have it as well, and it's becoming the new thing.
I hate to say it, but it is instant. Like, you're on your phone, it's instant gratification, it's instant. I can contact them right now. It just speeds up the whole process. And I think our following is organic, because I don't think we've ever done any of those, get boost here and get followers. I don't want that. I want people that genuinely want to see what we're doing. And that's kind of why we did that video last year, because we had so many people being like, your product's great, but we just don't know who you are. And it was kind of like, I want people to know that it's me and you. And it is a family, and it is important that people recognise that we're human too.
Yeah, and you were 2 weeks, 2 months pregnant.
2 months pregnant when we did that. And
it's very important, for sure.
Yeah, we just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
In terms of marketing on social media, obviously, social media such as Instagram gave small business owners the opportunity to market their product right to the end user. So not use any third party, like, for example, Google pay-per-click and all that kind of stuff. And obviously we have a better chance of getting a better return for the investment that you put in into marketing. So that's obviously, that's what social media opened up, sort of the floodgates to a lot of businesses to who are willing to invest time and money into advertising and see the results, because putting an ad in the newspaper nowadays is probably obsolete, I would argue, and it would be quite expensive, whereas you can spend £20 or £30 on ads, and like you said, you can have a couple of inquiries just from that. So the return is quite large, which is amazing. And I like the fact where you said that if you market a specific worktop, for example, like a charcoal worktop, and for example, if you have a large stock of it and you want to sort of push it, you can by simply just promoting that specific piece, and people get interested, and they're like, okay, we want that specific stuff rather than like any other color. Obviously, having the the selection of colors and finishes and everything else is amazing as well, and that's probably like an added bonus for the customers when they find out. But just the fact that you can easily do that and say, look, this is an amazing piece, and people are sort of responding well to that, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's nice because we don't have a lot of stock pieces.
No,
so
nothing's stock for us.
Nothing's stock. Everything is custom made when
Yeah.
you order it. But that's the great thing is if you put a post up of a sink, everyone's like, I want that sink.
Yeah, and you have
And
to make a new mold.
The big game changer with Instagram was I wasn't coming to site, was I, when you did floors? So Woody has installed like 10, 20 or 15 concrete floors. But they're not anywhere. They're not on our Instagram. They're not on our website, you know, because I never went to site. I was too busy with kind of getting the business up and running that I was like, I can't come and sit on a building site all day. So I've got to run the business from over here, or was going to do samples, or, you know, I was in London, you were out in the countryside. We were kind of running two sides of the business. And then only recently have I been actually attending site and sorting. So I do the admin for the floors, get them sorted and booked in. And now I go because I sign everything off. And it's on Instagram, and now floors have gone mad.
Yeah.
So,
and you can completely change the direction of your business. I mean, we were doing worktops and sinks, and then we started putting, you know, these floors up, and everyone was like, I want a floor on a floor, and like getting quotes and, you know, going through the whole process. And you kind of, we were like, right, I want to do worktops. And now it's kind of changing more towards the floors.
Yeah.
Because people just love the concrete floors, which is great. And we didn't know that. We didn't know that.
No, because we didn't put anything up. We didn't share anything because it's difficult to take a really nice photo of a floor, to be honest.
It is, yeah.
Again, our photographer, Richard, of 33 Studio, he's amazing. I don't know how we found him. Again, I think just through Instagram we found Richard.
Yeah.
And now he's our photographer, and he's amazing, and we love working with him. And it's the people you work with that make it possible, because, you know, he took those photos for us, and now it's shot us in a whole new direction, as you say. So yeah, and it's just consistency, I think, with Instagram. You know, there are so many algorithms you can follow, so many different things you can do. I don't think I'd even use it to its full capacity. I feel like there's so much more we could do. Or sometimes I'm like, oh, that would have been really great to put up or share. And I think we're going to do a couple more videos, aren't we? Because I think they just really capture what we do on a daily basis, and we do have so much fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of plans. We've got a lot of plans to do, and it's just getting around to doing them and implementing them. And
yeah, that just goes back to time, doesn't it? When
are you sort of planning to employ more help at all?
Yeah, I think if we've got a couple of big floors coming up, and I think if they come in, then we'll probably have to start. I'll have to start training someone, or like having someone there just to help.
Yeah,
because it's not a one person job. Like turning over a 4 meter worktop on your own is risky, but it's also really dangerous. So, you know, I will have to start, yes, and I think that's maybe the avenue we'll go down.
I mean, we used to do it together, but more recently, obviously, I have not been helping. I will again, but sometimes they are huge.
They're big,
like when we started off, I remember we delivered one, and I carried it in with you, just that one for Manamix. And I think I came outside, and I looked at my hands, and they were just purple, wet, bruised, and I was like, oh my God, don't cry in front of the customer. So yeah, no, we definitely need to. I think beginning of this last year, January 2020, we had put an advert out saying we wanted to take on someone. So that was kind of a part-time apprenticeship position. Because obviously we do juggle the floors and worktops, so you're not always in the workshop. So it's not 7 days a week in the workshop. It's kind of like a mix, isn't it? So we do need to take someone on, 2 people, but I just want to get the right people. I want someone who like really cares or like wants to learn or has a genuine interest in it, or is a creative or has a passion of their own. Because I mean, you trained with some huge names and we still have really great relationships with them. And you know, I'm happy, more than happy to take someone on and impart wisdom and training. But we've got to have some form of commitment from them for.
Yeah, we're willing to wait for the right person, because you know, you can't just rush into these things and keep going through people and through, you know, just saying, oh, okay, we'll give you a week's trial, and then like, look, mate, you're not quite right for it. I don't really want to go through that, so I'm willing to wait for the right person that has a bit of a passion about it as well.
Yeah, you've got to have someone that cares. We've had a few people come through the door that we've, you know, trained, and I don't know, it's just commitment, isn't it? It's because it's our baby. It's important to us that got to be done right. And again, coming back to time, training time, and it's finding time to do that really, alongside all the orders. So we always say like, oh, we've got sort of 5-day window there. We could do this, this, and this, and then it gets full with a worktop or a sink, or you know, everything gets full. Or we try and plan a day off, and then that day off becomes, should we just go to the workshop? Because what else are we going to do? So,
find ourselves talking.
Anyway. We would just talk about it all day. But yes, we do definitely need to expand. I think when we take on this new workshop expansion, I think that's when that will kind of
have to happen, won't it?
Push us to do it. I think with Woody and I, rather than doing stuff like preemptively, we're not very good at like, not good at, but we don't preempt, we don't like plan ahead. We're more like, okay, cool, so we need more workshop space, let's take on a workshop. It's like as and when, we're very, let's just do it tomorrow. A bit more instantaneous, aren't we, than projecting forward.
Yeah, in terms of what you said, lack of time in general, that's quite common amongst business owners, and I think you're right to say that obviously training and educating people who come work for you takes time, but I think that's the only way to create time at a later date. So if you don't do that, you'll be sort of stuck where you are. Obviously, you're still happy and you're doing an amazing job and everything is going well for you guys. But I'm sure, you know, 10 years down the line or 5 years down the line, you would like to perhaps look at a team that does all that hard work that you've done now for you, and you can just sort of manage it and supervise it rather than get your hands dirty and you know, keep doing that for the next 20 years. So I'm sure you would at some stage you would like to step back a little bit.
Definitely.
We know
would that be a go on.
Well, we definitely need to scale the business up. It's definitely the next step. I think the plan very much was to do that last year. And then obviously everything that happened
set us back
well immensely. It kind of changed our whole direction. So we're still catching up, as so many people are. But yeah, I mean, scaling up is ultimately the big plan. And I'd love for Woody to not be in the workshop 7 days a week, you know, being the only one that is doing it, because it's just not conducive. And as you say, if we need to grow, I would love to look back and have a team that works for us that we kind of just oversee. Which would be epic. So we'll get there. I have to know we'll get there, because I really need some time off.
Absolutely. Another question for you: what are the benefits and downsides of going for concrete products versus any other material? And is it typically more expensive than, say, copper or aluminium or some other material that people would normally use for, say, worktops or sinks or something else?
I just think it varies totally by supplier. You know, if you're comparing polished concrete to like marble, granite, quartz, is it more expensive? Sometimes yes, but sometimes no, because I don't know where that marble's being cut from. I don't know where you're choosing to import it from. I can't speak for other suppliers of other materials because I don't know what the quality is or the process. A lot of those materials are machine cut, so they're literally just there as slabs. You order your piece and they cut it. Whereas I guess the benefit of polished concrete is that it's us, we'll come to site, we'll template the space, we can do any angle, any corner, we can round that edge. You know, it's totally bespoke to your space.
Yeah, I think quartz has quartz, marble, and granite. They all have limits to how long you can do it as well. We can create, 6-meter pieces in one length. You're not going to get that from quartz. You're not going to get that from granite because obviously granite's cut down as well. The massive thing is the customizable stuff. I mean, if you had like a tree going through your worktop, or you have some metal going through it, you can make it so it goes around it. You can't get that with other worktops.
And without seeing seams
of things, in one
joins and them saying, okay, well, on that angle we'll have to cut it there. We could do a whole L kitchen with completely seamlessly if someone wanted that. All the cutouts are custom. I just don't think that there's just far less restriction with having a custom made product like polished concrete. I mean, I know there's other products where you can do this, but yeah, it's not cut from a slab that's just in a warehouse. It's for you. And we've had so many of our clients say, can I come to the workshop and see it in production? And we're like, yeah, for sure. And they see from the template to the mold to the spray, to flipping it out, to the raw, to grouting, to polishing. Then they can choose the detail on the edge, like how distressed do they want it to look, what thickness do they want. And the more we do, the more we're able to guide our customers. So, again, they're not just ordering it online and dealing with a computer. It's me. I'll talk them through it. We'll go to their house and sit with them, and even like the depth of their cupboards, or the splashback they're having, or the thickness of their tile. We take everything into consideration to make sure that this piece we make fits perfectly.
And if, for example, a worktop gets damaged on site or before delivery, is that easily repairable, or does it have to go back into the shop and some other works need to happen?
Well, I mean, if it gets damaged, we don't deliver any kind of damaged goods. So if it does get damaged in the workshop, then yeah, we'll remake it. There is a certain amount of grouting and repairing you can do. It just depends how good you are mixing up, your pigments and things like that. So there is a certain amount of touching up you can do. But on site, I suppose, if it says you can read our contract if you want, but we can't control what happens when the customer has it, so we don't control. We can tell them how to treat it and and that's probably one of the downsides, is that you do have to maintain it, and it'll last as long as you look after it. And then so if you damage it if the customer damages it, then we'll have to kind of take into consideration what happened and go from there, really.
Yeah.
But is that a relatively easy, like, is it an easy process? Is it simply, for example, you would attend site and they would say, oh, we damaged it by mistake. Would it be easy to actually repair it on site, or is it a little complex?
So we do. So when anyone inquires with us, we send them our owner's guide. So they already have an insight into what kind of care and maintenance they need to be carrying out. They already know what products I've approved, what I've tested. They know, is this the product for me? Do I want this in my house? So obviously, if they then go with us, I'm of the understanding that they have decided, yes, I can do that. We do maintenance quotes. So basically, we offer a promise to our clients in their terms that says, our promise to you is that we'll come and fix it if something happens. And staining, very rarely, because we do a very extensive stain guide. That's where I spend most of my time. testing different stains.
We use a good sealer as well.
It's a really good sealer.
It's one of the market leading sealers we imported from America. And yeah, at the moment, I wouldn't put anything else on our concrete.
We're testing 5 different sealers. So that sealers start at about £150 for quite a small amount.
Yeah.
And we purchased about 5 of the top ones from Australia, States.
Yeah, they're the main
competitors. So we're testing those out at the moment, but until we're set on, what can be achieved with those, we're going to continue to use the one we do, which is pretty flawless.
Yeah.
But like in terms of fixing stuff on site, like if there's a crack, Woody can go and fill it. If there's a chip, again, we do a colour match. You just mix up some of the stuff and go and fill it, and we seal it. We do buffing, resealing, resurfacing, really.
Yeah.
If it needs it, but you'd have to really take a sledgehammer to it to warrant
a knife to it, just to get through the sealer.
Yeah, and that's actually normally what it is. You're not damaging the concrete, you're compromising the sealer. So if if you're like, I can't bother to get a chopping board, and you start chopping your onion on it, you're gonna damage the sealer. And also, onion is a terrible staining agent.
Yeah,
so
we tell people not to do that in our contracts.
Yeah,
not contracts, but terms of sales.
Yeah, I mean, we guide people as much as we possibly can. And this year we're also going to be releasing videos for all our clients with their contracts, and it's basically videos of me spilling stuff on our concrete worktops and cleaning it up.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so it just shows, I think people like a little bit more visual, and they don't kind of trust themselves. I'm like, yeah, you can use flash bleach, and they're like, what? You can use bleach? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, go for it. So yeah, we're kind of becoming a bit more visual with our guides. I love a YouTube quick search of how do I do this. I think it's quite a lot of people's go-to, so that should work quite well.
Definitely. Okay.
We just do like red wine and all your standard things.
All the household stains.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about your highly anticipated showroom in 2021. Is that still going ahead with all this craziness going around?
It was supposed to happen last year.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and the thing is, with a showroom, you have to kind of make these pieces, and then going back to what we've said for most of this podcast is time. We fill our times with trying to make lovely things for people, and you kind of sometimes just forget, or you fall back with things. Mistakes happen. I've made so many mistakes, it's unbelievable. My skip is full of laminate and concrete that is just been cut up because it's just not right, and that kind of puts me back. But we make it good and great for our customers. But you kind of do get lost in making stuff, and it's really, really difficult to get that balance.
Well, we have a lead time, and we allow room for error, room for movement, room for delay. So you're managing so many variables, and you're not just working for one person at one time. We've got 5, 6, 7 jobs on that we're juggling, and everyone wants it next week. And we don't like to not have people with their worktops. We hate when that happens. But we allow ourselves that time to not overpromise and underdeliver. That's our thing, isn't it? It's our motto we live by.
Yeah.
Basically, we want you to have it ASAP, but it's got to be right, and we're not delivering it if it's not. It doesn't happen that often. It really doesn't. It's just when it does, that week that we'd set aside for committing to the showroom, for example, we want to do all these sample boards. We've got these shelves that we've kind of...
all the ideas.
Everything's there. And it's just every time we get that free week, like I said, it becomes filled with an order or you've got to go to a site survey, or we've got templating, or we've got something that comes up that takes priority.
Yeah.
It will happen. It's going to open.
It will happen.
And we already do invite clients in. We've got we have our kitchen there, which is all fitted out with our concrete worktops. We have tables.
Yeah.
We have sinks. We have.
It's all there.
It's all there. We just need
a little bit more time.
Finesse it.
Put it together and make it look nice, because you don't want to open it and it be half-assed. So I'd rather it be perfect than half done.
Yeah, we do invite people in now if they want to come and have a look. Which is quite nice. I do like it when people come to see us, because they always say it looks cool already. So when it's done, yes, we're going to have a massive opening party. Our location actually is insane. It's the most beautiful setting ever.
Have you seen a couple of the videos? Well, the video is set there, so that we did.
Yeah, it's literally in the middle of a field.
Yeah, basically,
and
which is awesome.
We always have music blasting out. We have a fire pit. We have barbecues up there. Like loads.
Okay, stop bragging already. We're in London. We have nothing. We have everything. Leave it, okay?
We're excited for this summer.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
So if it's not completely done, it will be done.
Yeah,
amazing. I'm sure you're gonna do it eventually. Obviously, you have so much on your hands right now, and with the baby coming and everything else. So, but as long as you have that as a goal, it doesn't matter whether it's going to be this year or next year. And I'm sure you're gonna get to that point at some stage anyway. Especially when you're going to hire the right people, because obviously that's going to be a massive help for your business and to clear up some personal time, because that's very important.
Yeah.
You can't be working 24/7 all the time.
I'm really glad that you're highlighting this. I really hope it's going into Woody's. He's listening to you, because he doesn't listen to me.
We've had so many arguments about you're working too much. This is getting ridiculous.
I mean,
it's kind of sunk in now that you cannot work 7 days, 18 hours a day, because it just doesn't. It's not conducive, and it just doesn't help. You end up making more mistakes than you do getting things right. So and then your relationship suffers, and
and it has
you sacrifice a lot, don't you? So you're essentially taking time from your personal life, from your family life, from all your hobbies and pleasures, and you're just putting that into work. And whereas probably the business is going to benefit, everything else is going to suffer. So there's always that issue with balance, isn't it?
It's really tough for me, because I'm the most one-track-minded person I know, and if I'm at work, I'm at work for that's it. That's all I do. Or if I'm training, like when I was training, I was training 6 nights a week, playing on a Saturday. So it's really hard for me to get that balance, and I'm learning that at the moment. That you do have to work, and you also have to stop and have some fun.
Yeah, I think for us it's drawing a line, isn't it? And we try to instill office hours, and we have Sundays off now. That was a big thing. That was the start of last year, and I said we're taking Sunday off because it's ridiculous. And still now Woody will be in the workshop on a Sunday morning
just tidying,
just
not
tidying.
doing
So
I think having a schedule helps a lot. So if you like a routine or a schedule, rather than sort of going to work and just working until your legs can't hold no more, you should sort of have something where okay, whatever happens, 6 o'clock, finish, pack up, and then you have 3-4 hours for yourself, because you need it. You need to replenish and recover from the hard work, because it's just not sustainable, is it?
No.
And I'm really pleased that you've said this, and Woody's going to take it all on board.
I think Woody's going to be my enemy. Oh, I'm going to be Woody's enemy now, because I'm saying all the wrong things.
It's over.
Right. Okay. What would be your single best piece of advice to business owners this year, based on your knowledge and experience? It's a hard question, I know.
It's a hard question.
Oh gosh.
On the spot.
Single best piece of advice to business owners.
Don't work yourself into a grave.
Pretty much, probably.
Actually, I think so. That's actually 100% it. Remember have perspective on what's important in life. That has been a massive thing for us this year, especially.
Yeah.
On a personal note, our wedding was cancelled twice.
Oh, Jesus.
We obviously, you know, got
carried on with life.
Got having a baby, which we just thought, yeah, let's do that. Just, you know, and my family's health, your family's health, all of those things at the moment are really coming into like what is important. And I always say to Woody, 100%, our business is our baby, but at the end of the day, we're here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, I think your business is always going to be there, but you know, if you start neglecting other things, then they kind of won't be. So yeah, just be a bit mindful about what times you're spending doing what. Basically.
Yeah, and I think don't beat yourself up when things go wrong. Try not to get too stressed, because it's just not healthy. It's you know, I think we've all said it in this call, it's not conducive to good work. If you don't take time out to do something you enjoy or spend time with people that you want to be around, then you're not going to enjoy going back to work. You get that Sunday feeling where you're like, oh, I don't want to go in. And to be honest, we haven't had that for years now. I've never had that Sunday night where I'm like, oh, I'm dreading it. I just don't want to go in. I wonder what's going to land on my desk. Like, we always have something exciting. And it's just trying to not get bogged down when things do go wrong. For us, they always come in threes. It'll be like 3 massive things that have gone wrong. And I used to get so stressed out. But now I'm like, do you know what? Let's shut the laptop. Let's go for a quick walk. Talk about how we're going to resolve this and move on. And so I think in terms of advice, just do what you're doing, but just try to put things into perspective. What is important in life? And it's not that someone gets their product a week sooner if it means you're ripping your hair out. It's just not like that, because they'll get it and they'll love it.
They'll always love it. Yeah, that's what I've learned as well, is that if you work hard and you made mistakes, and you let someone down, but it doesn't matter. They're always going to love it. They're always going to go, wow, thank you so much. And then they always forget that week that they didn't have a worktop.
People complain one way or another. As long as you deliver a fantastic product, then you know, like you said, you know, after a couple of weeks they'll forget all about it, and they'll be like, oh, look at my amazing worktop or something else that you've made for them. So yeah, I definitely agree. It's better to hold off a bit and balance it out. You know, try to do your best, but at the same time, not rush and you know, go through sleepless nights working away and putting yourself in danger, because obviously, you know, it's all heavy stuff and potentially dangerous stuff with the weight and everything. So yeah, thanks. That's really good advice for people. I think you know, someone will definitely benefit from that. Have you experienced any difficulties or disruptions due to COVID-19? And what do you think about the whole situation right now, especially with the lockdown that's been imposed yesterday, I believe?
We were
at the start.
We were really hit at the beginning because, like so many people, I think we experienced that uncertainty. And construction originally wasn't. It was included. You weren't allowed to carry on. It was, our understanding was that everything stopped. Like everything was on hold. So we'd kind of just moved here.
We were really, really actually amazingly lucky. We just moved out here, and we were moving workshops. And for about a month, our new workshop wasn't ready, didn't have any electric. So we were able to move because one of my mates had a storage space. So I was able to move everything up to here and just have it in storage whilst it was over lockdown. So we didn't work, but we didn't have a workshop to work in, if you know what I mean. So, and then when it started, you know, coming out and the workshop was getting ready, I was moving stuff in, and it gave me time to prep the workshop. So, actual fact, it's actually helped us massively. Like, it helped at the time. It was fantastic.
Yeah, we do look back and we say that actually that lockdown was underlying for our business because everything was paused while we moved. Basically, we didn't have a workshop. We didn't have our house. we didn't have anything, did we? We were literally had a van and we moved in a storage space with no lights in it. So when we got there at 10 o'clock at night with the last load, we've got iPhone lights up trying to light up a huge barn.
And then yours
mine died. My phone died, and then I was like, "You've got 2 minutes, go!" Yeah, we were kind of lucky. We
very, very
moved
lucky
into this amazing house in Henley, and I basically spent a long time sitting on the terrace, refining contract terms, really, updating everything with the move, and then when we came out the other side, luckily we were up and running.
Up and running, and everyone was ready to go, you know.
And again, another great thing that happened was that our friend who owns all this land kind of hired us for quite a few really cool jobs.
Nice job.
So we did
nice desk job.
Nice couple of things for them, which we had going on, and I don't know, silver linings have come out of these lockdowns. At the moment, again, as you mentioned, the one that's coming yesterday,
we've restricted what we're going to do. We're going to people's houses.
Yeah, we already do a working safely in people's homes. We have so many terms in place, you know, social distancing when we're on site. Our PPE is very extensive already. But for our own personal safety, we're kind of upping that. We're pausing our maintenance quotes at the moment because it's limiting our amount of time we're spending in people's homes. Not to say we're not going to fulfill them. As soon as restrictions are lifted, we're dedicating time to that. We don't want people living with something they're not happy with or with a problem. But for now, we're just fulfilling templating and delivery. And we have an amazing delivery team. We use another friend, Hugo.
Another hobby mate.
He has his own company, so I just feel really fortunate they're all kind of coming together and supporting each other.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's definitely had a knock-on effect. I mean, we'll probably be picking up from this for the next year to 2 years. And our own personal plans have definitely been put on hold. Apart from baby. But, you know, we wanted to buy some land and build our concrete mansion. Yeah. But that's, you know, we got to put everything back into the business for a year or so. And hopefully just survive this, I guess, like so many people. But again, saying that, I also know that loads of my friends have been made redundant. They're working from home. They're kind of confined to their four walls. Whereas construction is lucky in a way. Yeah, we do get to carry on, and people are spending more time at home. So they're taking the time to get these things done. You know, they spend so much more time in their kitchen. They look up and they're like, I need something done. It's working well for us. And yeah, if we just continue to operate safely and we're not taking on too much, I think we're just not trying to overwork ourselves, because mental health is super important to us, and we really obviously care about other people's mental health and our own. And I don't want to burn out. I don't want to.
No, we can't.
No. So at the moment, got a really nice pipeline, and then maybe we'll take some time off. Maybe. We'll see. One day.
One day.
But yeah, obviously it's a rubbish situation, what's happening around the globe, and that's probably goes back to where we've put things into perspective. What's important to us is actually family and health and people's well-being, and I hate to sound like cliche, but just being a bit kind and just understanding, you know, understanding people's circumstances. So yeah, some big learnings over the last year that we'll take forward with us, I think.
So provided obviously this blows past and we're still here and it's not an apocalypse, where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years, or where would you like to see yourself, put it that way?
Barbados, probably.
I knew you were going to say something like that.
No, I don't think I could just sit back and do that. That's just probably not, you know. But we want to be we want to build the business as much as possible, don't we? I think we want to be taking on, we want to have a concrete floor team that predominantly does floors, week in, week out. And then have in 5 years, we definitely probably would have a team in the workshop.
So for sure.
And then maybe 1 or 2 in the office.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, building basically. We're still building. I mean, we didn't really start with a business plan, did we?
No, we definitely didn't.
Especially because I was, it was me first, and then I was making everything, doing all that. And I had no idea about tax, about anything. I'd never paid my own tax. Someone's always done it for me. So I was terrible. And then I handed it off to Izzy. And she was like, "This is a joke. What have you given me here? This is like an task, but you've taken 3 years to sort it all out." She's done it, but we didn't.
And now an official accountant.
Yeah, we didn't really have a plan as per se. We knew we wanted to build something that we could, sit back and say, "Wow, that's awesome," and it's kind of running itself. So yeah, maybe running something running itself in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, and I think obviously big workshop expansion, that's already happening. So I mean, I dread to think what kind of expansion will happen in the next 5 years.
Yeah, well,
exciting, and also, oh my gosh. Because with everything we take on is a massive risk, and a lot of it is our own personal investment. So yeah, we kind of, again, like I said, we're putting our personal plans a little bit on hold to make sure that this is the number one priority, because this is what supports us, and what we love doing. Really, it is everything to us. That's why we take so much pride in it. I think next 5 years, we'll have a 5-year-old.
We'll have a 5-year-old,
which is hilarious.
Maybe a 1-year-old. Or
no, whoa. Let's stop that. Obviously, we want to get married at some point when that's allowed. And with the business, I think upscale, take on a team, expand, build, and just get better. Continue to get better. Like Woody, from the first worktop you've made to the ones you make now, I say to him, you must just get bored because you make it look so easy now. Like before, it took quite a long time to get there, but now you're just like, yeah, it's done. And I'm like, oh, I really want to give you something interesting to do. Because that's why sometimes when customers come forward and they're like, I really want this weird color, I'm like, yeah, great, cool, let's sample it, let's order some pigments, let's try it out, let's make something new. And actually a few of our colors are born from clients wanting custom colors. And we love doing that kind of thing. That is our bread and butter. We want to do that. It's never too much. It's
get somebody else to do the worktops. I'll do all the creative.
Yeah, you just I'll do the drawings, and then you can just do all the fun and cool stuff, and then give someone churn out worktops.
Yeah, that's 5-year plan.
That's the 5-year plan.
That's the 5-year plan. That's a great plan to have. Nothing against that whatsoever. Where can people find you? What's the best medium that people can use to get in touch with you?
Instagram, I would have thought, and then obviously every kind of all for our website. There's a project page, and you can fill it out, and then we get every one. We might not get back to you straight away because obviously it's just us two, and I have to do the quote, and then Izzy types it up and sends it off. So it's a process, but yeah, that's probably the best way to get.
Yeah, I'd say send us an Instagram message. Love that. And then project form inquiries. That's how we get them inbound. And then it's just when we don't have to sit together, I guess, and do it. We also really like our quotes to be super accurate. I'm a bit of a stickler for that. I don't like sending something out that's really vague, or it might be this, it might be that.
Too indicative.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to know what you're paying for and what the service is. Yeah. So we spend a little bit more time at the beginning getting that right, rather than adding things, adjusting things, and then you'll end up with a totally different price. Yeah. We do a little bit of market research of our own, and I've dealt with quite a few of our competitors getting quotes, and I learn from them, or I say, I wouldn't do that.
We're on the right track.
You know, we're doing it well, because it's the information that's sometimes lacking, and you don't want people to be like, okay, does it include this? Will I get that? I want to kind of try and capture and preempt every single question or query that they might throw at us.
Yeah.
And so that they have all the information, so they're totally informed, and then they can make the best decision. And lots of people are time poor. They want it instantly. They want to know how much it's going to cost and when they're going to get it. That's, I feel like, how we all operate. So.
Well, I mean, I can definitely see why you guys are doing well, because it seems you put so much thought and efforts into what you do. Then that, aside the price factor, because obviously I have no idea how the prices are, but I'm sure they're fair and they're according to market rates. But I think the personal service that you give and the quality that you provide is so outstanding that people just keep coming back for more, and obviously the word spreads. And people just sort of raving, how good of a family-run business you are. So I can definitely see why things are definitely, turning your way, and why things are progressing that way. So I'm happy for you, and well done. Well done.
Very much. Cheers. I
Nice
appreciate that.
It's really good.
Perfect. So on that, thank you for taking the time to be on our podcast. We wish you a prosperous year and a healthy and a happy baby in due course. So thank you, guys. Thank you for your time.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much.
We'll see you at our showroom opening party, whenever that may be.
Perfect. We will definitely attend.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
so much. Great to speak to you.
Thank you.
Woody's probably better not prepped, otherwise he'll get flustered. So we're just going to let him go.
I'm not very good at this.
I can't prep him for anything. I don't know if you watched our video that we did on Instagram.
I have. I loved it, actually. It was really good.
Yeah, it was cut from about 5 years.
5 years.